Hannah Gutierrez, the armorer on the set of The Rust, you see right there, being sentenced after last month's finding of her guilty of involuntary manslaughter. Let's listen.
How the courtroom gets cleared. Please do an order of remand to the transport order to the Department of Corrections and the judgment and sentence.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. We are in recess.
All rise.
What happened? And you're looking at live pictures right now. It happened so fast. We got word that Hannah Gutierrez Reed was indeed receiving her sentencing. It literally took about less than 10 seconds as we look at these live pictures still inside the courtroom. Hannah Gutierrez Reed, the Rust film armorer who was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter last month for the 2021 on-set fatal shooting of cinematographer Hannah Hutchins, just received her sentence from the judge in that New Mexico courtroom. Looks like 18 months in prison. Brian, you were paying close attention as well. That happened pretty quickly. Also, our Molalenge is just outside the courthouse there in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Brian, let's start with you.
I'm somewhat shocked. I'm shocked in the sense that this is a first arrest, and Hannah Gutierrez Reed got the maximum that a person can get for what's considered a fourth-degree felony in New Mexico, that being 18 months in prison. Now, depending on how that prison sentence works out for her, she could be afforded what's called good time, and so she might not serve the full 18 months. It might be reduced based on the programs and her status in prison, but still, that is a strong message. When it comes to sentencing, judges typically look at a number of things: rehabilitation, punishment, and deterrence. I think when you look at an 18-month sentence, the judge relied heavily on punishment and deterrence to make sure that Hannah Gutierrez got the message, but also others in the film industry going forward.
And she was responsible for the firearm safety and storage there on the set of Rust. And she also became the first person to stand trial and be convicted in this case. So now she stands, as you said, with the maximum sentence here, 18 months in prison. How do you see this impacting Alec Baldwin as we get ready for his case?
I think it's going to be a very big and scary wake-up call for Alec Baldwin, because where many experts might say, you know what, low-level felony, first-time arrest, you may get probation, you may get somewhat of a slap on the wrist. No, if Hannah Gutierrez is doing 18 months in prison, there becomes a much more likely reality that if Alec Baldwin is found guilty, he could be suffering from the same amount of jail time, depending on how the facts play out. Because while Hannah Gutierrez Reed was ultimately the person responsible for the firearm on the set, Alec Baldwin occupies both hats, so to speak, in the Rust movie set. He is both the actor who was given the gun, but also the producer that is in charge of the production itself. And we saw some pretty forceful video of Alec Baldwin speaking to others, and I think as the prosecution will color it, kind of contributing to this environment of chaos that led to underfunding, people not doing their job properly, and just as we saw with Hannah Gutierrez Reed, live bullets all over the set.